Hello everyone and welcome to the new teacher induction series. In this session, we will be learning about effective differentiation in lessons. This session will last for approximately 30 to 45 minutes, which includes time for your reflection. Before I start, let me introduce myself. I'm Elizabeth Jacob and I head the Professional Learning and Development for Teachers at the Winchester School, Jebel Ali. Aims for the session. The learning intention is how to effectively differentiate instruction in a classroom. The success criteria: by the end of the lesson, you will be able to define the term differentiation and recognize the different types of learners. You will be able to explain how to differentiate effectively in a lesson to maximize the progress, and you can design differentiated activities based on the need of the student. Have a look at the picture on your right. Jot down what you see and reflect on how this could apply to students in your classroom. What do you understand the term differentiation to be? Pause the video for a moment and write down what you know about differentiation and what you want to know more about differentiation. After which, I would like you to read the next two slides that give you the definition of differentiation. Now that we know the definition of differentiation, let us look at the key principles of a differentiated classroom. The teacher is clear about what the lesson objective is and the intended differentiated outcomes for the different groups of students. The teacher must invest time to get to know all the students, their likes, their dislikes, interests, learning styles to ensure connectedness and active engagement to maximize the progress. Using data and own professional judgment, the teacher understands, appreciates, and plans to maximize students' learning based on their different needs. The teacher adjusts the outcomes, the resources, the activities, and the assessment in response to students' readiness, interest, and learning profile. All students actively engage in the lesson through the differentiated resources, tasks, and assessments. Students are aware of their own strength, levels of challenge, and areas of development to lead their own learning, and teachers are effective facilitators in the lesson. The goals of a differentiated classroom are optimum engagement leading to maximized individual progress of students. Flexibility and adaptability based on students' response in a lesson are crucial for effective differentiated teaching and learning. Reflection time. Write down 3 points of what you understand about differentiation and write 3 exemplars of how you have implemented in differentiation in any of the lessons that you have taught before. Now that we know what differentiation is, let us look at the different groups of learners. SEND. They are students with educational needs and disabilities, or students of determination as they are known. These students are those who have developmental needs in cognitive, physical, medical, or emotional domains and require personalized support. Emirati. These are students who are citizens of the United Arab Emirates. EAL. English is an additional language. An EAL is defined as someone who does not learn English as their first and primary language. ELL. English language learners. Students who join the school with very poor level of proficiency in all 4 areas of English. Gifted and talented. Gifted students have the natural ability but are yet not showing consistent high performance. Talented students are those performing at very high levels beyond curriculum expectations. A student can be gifted or talented in one domain or subject, however, can be gifted in one and talented in another. LA or lower ability. Based on attainment data, the students classified as LA or lower ability are those performing below the curriculum standards, that is grade D and below. MA or the middle ability are students performing in line with curriculum expectations, that is a grade C. HA or higher ability are students performing above curriculum expectations, that is grade B and above. Fragile learners based on PASS assessment analysis. So PASS is pupils' attitude towards self and school. These students with the low PASS scores need to be supported with an attitude development plan and positive reinforcement and mentoring. Quiz time. Based on your learning so far, answer the quiz. Pause the recording and let's test your knowledge on the groups of learners. After you finish, check your answers using the information given in the previous slides. So how can I differentiate learning in a classroom? Based on the students' different abilities, needs, interests, and starting points, we can differentiate by outcomes, resources, tasks, support, and assessments. All types of differentiation require the teacher to have a thorough understanding of the student's profile and clarity on the intended learning objectives and outcomes. What you see on the screen are various types of data that we use to determine the types of learners. CAT4, which is the Cognitive Abilities Test, is a diagnostic assessment that is designed to help students and their teachers understand how they learn and what their academic potential might be. It assesses how students think in areas that are known to make a difference to learning, such as verbal, nonverbal, quantitative, and spatial reasoning. We also look at progress test scores for English, maths, and science. This test assesses pupils' knowledge and understanding and application in the core subjects, tracks progress at individual and cohort level, and indicates possible gaps in learning. Most schools also conduct baseline tests to determine the level at which the student is at the beginning of the year. It also takes into account the term-wise assessment data of students. So these are the factors, along with teacher judgment, that determine the different groups of learners and the types of differentiated activities that could maximize learning of these students. To help you understand better, I've taken a sample lesson plan of a Year 5 math lesson. So in this, you can see the learning objective is to calculate the area of a given shape and solve the problems in real life context. And you can see the differentiated learning outcomes for the different groups of students. The next 10 slides give you examples of how outcomes, resources, tasks, support, and assessment are differentiated for the different groups of learners. The samples provided are from a Year 5 maths lesson on calculating the area of a shape. You will find samples of tasks given for each ability along with a challenge task. Look at the differences and note how the outcome, task, and tasks vary in degrees of difficulty as per the need of the learner. The resources and the support too vary for each group of learners. Assessments are differentiated for SEND, ELL, and the gifted and talented. EAL and ELL learners have extra sessions with specialized teachers as well. Emirati students too have extra support lessons if needed to help them access the curriculum effectively. I would like to request you to pause the recording now and have a read of the next 10 slides. Please do visit these links for various ICT tools that could be used for effective differentiation. Explore the tools and see if you could use them in your lesson planning. Now that you have a clear understanding of differentiation, I would like you to apply your learning and plan a lesson for the different groups of students. Based on the data below, Choose any topic and plan differentiated activities for the different groups of students. Now that we have come to the end of this session, I'd like to look at the learning intention again. It was to effectively differentiate instruction in a classroom. By now, you should be able to define the term differentiation and recognize the different types of learners. You should be able to explain how to differentiate effectively in a lesson to maximize the progress. And you can design differentiated activities based on the need of the students. Remember at the beginning, I had asked you to write down what you know about differentiation and what you want to know about more about differentiation. Now could you add on to that and write what have you learned new about differentiation? I would like to leave you with 3 key takeaways for this session. As a teacher, you are clear about what the lesson objective is and the intended differentiated outcomes for your particular class of students. Using data and your own professional judgment, you are able to understand, appreciate, and plan to maximize students' learning based on their different needs. You are able to adjust the outcomes and the resources, the activities and the assessment in response to students' readiness, interest, and learning profile. I do hope that you have a good understanding of effective differentiation in a lesson and why it is important to differentiate learning for students. Please do fill the induction reflection booklet for this session. Looking forward to seeing you in August. Take care and stay safe. Thank you.